Alright guys, so we're still working through the 5 decks we set up for the new classes in Alliance War. This is Midgro, Daggerfall, kind of item-based attack strategy. Not really item-based, but just kind of running the good ones, and then Covenant Oathman to buff them. Aside from that, just pretty curve-based. It's a lot like Warrior or Sorcerer, and then you kind of just want to be playing stuff on curve and go from there, and then blast your opponent in the face. You look for your tempo swings with Covenant Oathman with some of the items, Ward Crafter, any sort of tricks you can maybe come up with, and then you finish out the game with Seal and On-Counter. So yeah, we'll give this a run. This is Midgro Daggerfall. Taking on Charmer, probably on his burn or market list. So let's try to get off to a fast start. Burn can struggle to deal with the Windkeep Spellsword. We do want to find a 3-drop. The Cultist, if this is actually Burn, the Cultist is going to be absolutely huge here. So we need to open with the Windkeep Spellsword and begin pressuring him. We have the Crown Quartermaster to potentially trick this Withered Hand Cultist, where we go Quartermaster on the Dagger and then 6th House Amulet. If we don't need to do that, then we have the Bleak Coast Troll. Now, if he is the burn list, my guess is here we're going to see an Emergency Fire Bloom. The Night Mother will guide us. He is going to go with the Black Hand Messenger. And that has kind of told us that this is going to be very dangerous for him to try and deal with, so we're going to protect it. This might be handy. We're going to hit him with the Dagger, and then the 6th House Amulet to block the next attack he wants to make on this. 5 mana. 5 mana Shadow Marking is rough for him to see, especially when we still got this Cultist ready to go. Just Spy is definitely fine for us to hit. And we're going to continue our pressure. And that's going to come in the form of Soul of Revenge. Now, interesting thing is we're probably not going to play this Dress Spy here. The reason we're not going to play this Dress Spy is because of the ability to sack off the Soul of Revenge in coming turns. So we have 9 damage. We can go ahead and Dagger for a little bit more and play the Bleak Coast Troll. So this actually just puts a little bit more damage on the board, and then having the Sower, the ability to sack it, potentially quite good. We're going to lead with that Cultist for prophecy reasons, because the prophecies are going to target this Cultist here. Yeah. Confound you. So we're going to Dagger up. Motherless dog. And we're going to set up the Bleak Coast Troll. Now, it's still going to be expensive for him to try and hit this Cultist. He's going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt it down. And we just have a ton of damage to push through here. So we're going to go with the Fork Bolt on the 2-1, which is going to prevent us from sacking off our own Sower. He's going to hit another Prophecy. I think the only Prophecies in this deck are the 3 bolts. So he's definitely given this a think about where he wants this to go. That bolt's going to go face, and so is ours. And there's a Windkeep Spellsword. Able to push through. Cultist is very, very strong against these market decks. If you're able to find Cultist, you kind of just got the win. Alright, going up against Sork. It should be close-ish to a mirror in terms of what our game plans are going to be. This is a very strong start, with the exception of a Mist 2. But I think it's good enough. Going Spirit into Cultist into Oathman Ring 1 is just going to be, I think, totally insane. This might be handy. He is able to find his 1-drop, which is a really big deal in terms of him getting out onto the board first. We found a better 3-drop, maybe one we're going to be forced to play. See if he has a 2-drop. Go with this. He does not, which is good, because that means we're going to send out this Cultist. It's very unlikely he will be able to kill this. He's going to go with the Haunting Spirit. I think we might do the same thing. And we have options here. One thing to look at is potentially just drawing an item off of Covenant Oathman here. I very much want to play the Spirit, but he could get rid of my buff while keeping his, which is a very bad outcome. So I think I'm just going to go with the double 2 here, which is going to be trade here to force the buff. We're going to Wardcrafter after the trade, and then Harvey. So now we have a kill set up here at the expense of a bit of a weak turn. But we do have our Spirit ready to develop, and we seem to have taken control of this field lane pretty well. He's going to go with the Bleak Coast Troll. Orc Clan Captain is a very good draw here. It's going to allow us to take out his field lane while maintaining presence and developing the Spirit.
We stand united. Enjoy the next
I will have your head.
And so now we have kind of successfully taken field lane. He's going to have to run to Shadow, but we have this tool to punish a race. He's not running Shadow. That's surprising.
By the fires of oblivion.
He's going to go with the Daggerfall. Okay. Our Daggerfall is very slow, so it'll be interesting to see if I do end up wanting to trade into this. Covenant Oathman, just insane here. Let's see what we can pick up. We're going to pick up a Steel Scimitar. Considering our current field lane positioning, I think we're just going to go with the Scimitar on here. Now this is slowing down a considerable margin. But we're presenting him with 3 different good negation targets, and the negation costs 4. He can't do them all. He can't negation the Orc Clan and the Spirit and the Cultist. So this is kind of the last turn where we're going to... There, he's going to go with the Cultist. Oh, he's got double negation. Okay. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But now we get to develop the Daggerfall. Never mind, we get to develop the Sower. So that was still a low tempo turn for him. Even though he was removing our things, he still left our board intact and gave us the chance to develop onto the board. We were able to hit the 5/5 to punish this, get good development and good cash in on our current resources. So this should be very difficult for him to come back from.
This was a worthy contest. The day is yours.
Midgro Daggerfall. Sometimes you can't get there in the aggro mirrors, I think, is where this deck can struggle. If your opponent can get on board first or just has good answers. And then against control, if you're not able to find your Cultist or your Garnak, that's where Daggerfall can really struggle. But it's just a pile of very strong cards. And if your opponent's deck isn't built well, it's going to punish him for not building it well, basically. It's going to continue playing threats and threats and threats and keep tricking combat in advantageous ways and figure out a way to push through.